Good afternoon. It's Thursday afternoon. Going to be recapping my bench press session from Monday. Um, Things are still going really well. Near max singles. I got up to 405 again, so it felt good to put 400 pounds on the bar again and be able to lift it fairly easily. I did 385, 395, 405 for one, so I increased by 10 pounds this week compared to last week. The sets of six. Did 350 and 355 last week. I stayed at 345 the whole time and did five sets of six, one set of five. Even though I didn't get six on the last set, talked with JM, still decided to go up this week to 350. So I did the first three sets of 350 for six, and felt fairly easy. So talked to JM in the middle of the workout and decided to add 5 pounds and go up to 355. So 350 for 666, and then 355 for 655. So I added another 10 pounds this week, and from here on out, it's new territory in terms of weights. I've never gone above 345 for my working sets, my set to six. So I'm in new territory now. My body weight's that was 293.2 on Monday. So it just keeps going up slowly but surely now. I don't know where that's going to end. Focusing more on the weight on the bar than the weight on the scale. So as long as I keep getting stronger, then that's okay with me. If I'm making these big weight gains and not making any progress in the gym, then there's no point. I'm just getting fat for no reason. So as long as the weights go up in conjunction with the weight on the scale going up, we're good. So yeah, body weight 293, up another 10 pounds. The 405 felt fairly easy, which is encouraging. So only 25 pounds away from my PR, which is 430. I did that in a meet, and I believe, yeah, 405 was the most I did on my near max singles before I hurt my pec last training cycle. So yeah, back up where I need to be. I'm not feeling great this week. Been congested and coughing and stuffy nose. Sometimes my ears are stuffed, and then my energy levels have been terrible all week. And yeah, still able to go to the gym and put some good sessions in, but outside the gym, I'm just dragging ass this week. So I don't know if I caught a little something, which usually is what happens when I travel, when I'm flying on a plane, twice to the destination and then back home from the destination. Being in that little box, usually I get a little something when I go on trips. I don't know if I'm battling something or what's going on, but yeah, I've just been dragging all week, but still able to get to the gym and hit my numbers and make progress. So when I'm under the weight, I feel fine, and I'm lifting the weight, I feel fine for that 20, 30, 40 seconds, however long the set is. And then once that's done, though, yeah, I'm not feeling great. So, but keep training anyways, and I'm still making progress, so I can't be that sick or messed up if I'm still adding weight to the bar. So, yeah, not really sure what's going on there. Hopefully it'll subside soon. The meet is 4 weeks from Saturday, so about 4 weeks away. That's exciting. And then eyeing a few different meets in the fall now. Got my eye on a couple of them, and it'll be traveling. I'll have to fly to these meets and stay in a hotel, which will be good practice for the future as well. Jam wants me to start traveling a little bit with the meets so that I'm used to dealing with all the logistics of traveling and competing, and also to eventually This is going to sound kind of douchey, I guess. Eventually, I will be needing to find stronger competition. So I will need to be able to, not douchey, I guess, a little pretentious, but eventually I will need to travel to find some better competition. So I'm going to start doing that now. And it's exciting. I like to travel. I like usually the first 2 or 3 days are really fun, and then the last part of the trip, I'm ready to come home. But it'll be fun to travel and do that. I'm going to switch federations too. I've been lifting in the USPA because, well, they have the most untested meets in Washington. It's pretty much USPA, and then the USAPL for tested. There was the WRPF, and I was going to lift in the WRPF, but they went away. Something happened, I don't know what. And they went away and changed names to Powerlifting United, which I didn't know about, so I couldn't find any meets through WRPF because it didn't exist anymore. I didn't know they changed their name, so I just stuck with the USPA. I like the USPA, it's a good federation, but I'm going to start lifting I'm looking at a meet in the APF, American Powerlifting Federation, and the RPS, Revolutionary Powerlifting Syndicate, or Revolution Powerlifting Syndicate. Anyways, a little bit different federations. Reminds me of, even though I wasn't in powerlifting, but just watching YouTube videos, reading articles on Elite FTS, being on the forums, these federations remind me a little bit more of that powerlifting that was around when I was exposed to it. It was powerlifting was a niche sport, kind of underground. Definitely wasn't as accepted as it is now with the boom of social media and the boom of the USAPL and USPA and Powerlifting America. But these federations remind me a little bit more of that powerlifting that I first saw, which is the powerlifting that I really fell in love with was that underground, niche. People don't really understand why someone would want to be so big and strong. Why are you so big? Why don't you just stop lift? Or isn't this much weight enough weight on the bar? So those federations remind me a little bit of that, kind of old school, and I want to go lift in them. A little bit different commands as well. Personally, I don't really see the point of a start command. I mean, I get it. I get soft handoffs, but I don't really see how a soft handoff is going to help someone lift a weight that they can't lift by themselves. So the start command just kind of seems pointless to me. Like, why, if I'm not set and I start the lift, it's only going to hurt me as the lifter. So why do I need to wait for the start command? I will say my last meet, the pause commands seemed a little bit long. They seemed, and I had my girlfriend too there. She said they seemed a little long and inconsistent. I had two different people giving me the press command once it was paused on my chest at the last meet, and a guy and a girl, and the guy was longer than the girl's pause, and it wasn't consistent. So, looking to switch federations to a little bit more of the old school federation. So I'm excited to go and do one of those meets in the fall. I haven't decided yet if it's going to be the APF or RPS, but either way, I will have to travel either to Illinois or Missouri or Newark, New Jersey. So I'll start thinking about picking one of those out in the next month or so, so that when my next meet's over, I'll have one lined up and ready to go peaking. So, yeah, that's the update. No more traveling in the immediate future, which is nice. I'll be able to stick to my schedule a little bit easier for training and stick to my routine. It's hard. It's hard getting out of routine. I think it's, human beings, we like structure, we like schedule, we like routine, and it's easy to thrive in a routine and structure. And then when things go not according to plan, or things happen outside of my control, it could be flustering. So it is good to do a vacation in the middle of meet prep like I did last week, because it allows me to practice when I'm taken out of that structure, that schedule, that routine. How can I handle it? Do I implode, or do I still get done what I need to get done? And I had to switch some days around and make some adjustments, and I was still able to get the work done that I needed to get done to lift the numbers at my next meet. So I do love the structure and routine and sticking to it, but every now and then it is nice to throw in a curveball and see how I react to that, because that's what happens on meet day. Usually not everything is going to go according to plan, and I have to be able to get outside of that structure, that routine, and into that chaos a little bit, and not self-destruct or implode. So it was nice to be able to practice that last week, and then it feels good to be home and back at my gym and my bed and my grocery store and the places I usually frequent. So yeah, no more trips planned in the immediate future. And yeah, I'm gonna go do triceps here in a little bit. I gotta get a little more caffeine in me, and I don't know if I'm gonna wake up, but as long as I feel good under the weights and I'm making progress, and that's all that matters. So we'll go do that in a little bit. Go do our floor chain presses, and then back to bench on Monday, and I'll be starting off at 355 for my sets of 6 on Monday. So hope you guys enjoy the weather and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Last one, come on. Got it. There you go. Come on. Two more. Last one.